Streaming now, this is the Wood TV Live Desk.
And good afternoon, everyone. Phil Penarski here with the News 8 Live Desk. Hope you're all having a wonderful day so far. Basketball is officially back this Friday night here in West Michigan as the Grand Rapids Gold return to the hardwood to take on the Windy City Bulls to open up the G League season. The team has a lot of new faces, but one familiar face joins us now back on the Live Desk. It is the head coach of the Grand Rapids Gold and former NBA star Andre Miller. Coach, thank you so much for being here today. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, and first things first, I want to be polite. How was the off season? How was kind of getting a little bit away from basketball, but kind of also getting ready for the upcoming season, Ben?
I enjoyed my summer. It was a year-round process as far as rebuilding the team from summer league and the draft. And, the summer went by fast, 2 returning players to our Grand Rapids Gold team and a lot of fresh faces.
As I mentioned, and you kind of touched on it too, kind of rebuilding this team with a whole lot of new faces. How's the team looking going into this first game? Anybody kind of standing out to you that you think fans should really start to kind of maybe start remembering the name a little bit more?
I think collectively, we just finished practice today. We've had 2 weeks of a training camp, and we made some cuts, and just all the players in general. Everybody brings something to the table. I believe that, in my third season that this may be the biggest team that we have. So I'm excited about, guys like a PJ Hall, a Jameer Young, Andrew Funk, who's returning, and who ended up getting a two-way contract with the Windy City Bulls last year with Chicago Bulls. So I'm just excited about the upcoming season. A lot of young guys. So, it's going to be a process early on for these guys getting used to the pace and the physical part of the G League. So I'm looking forward to the grind.
And something new this season coming to the G League is, of course, the in-season tournament, which actually kicks off on Friday night. We saw it a little bit in the NBA last season. The WNBA has had it for a couple of years now. Talk to me. What is sort of your what kind of goes into coaching and kind of planning for knowing that these in-season tournament games are going to be a lot more eyes are going to be on these players, and it's going to be a lot more important for the team as a whole to kind of get these wins out of the way?
Well, one thing I try to do is just early on do a lot of teaching. These guys are coming from different colleges, universities, and they've learned different styles of basketball. So I try to get them on the same thinking path as, what the Denver Nuggets do up top. And, once you do a lot of teaching early, hopefully they can form some chemistry. So, I just try to go in there and try not to overtalk them, do a little bit of teaching, and then it's up for them to form some chemistry. Of course, the first 16 games is the showcase where, all the teams play, and then you see who's the best record. I believe the top 8 teams then go to Orlando to play an in-season tournament. The teams that don't make the in-season tournament play a mandatory 2 games in Orlando. And then after the showcase, then the season resets, and then there's an additional 34 games, including the playoffs.
And Coach, one thing we touched on last year was sort of your approach to coaching, especially on the G League level. It really is kind of about giving these players a sense of what it's going to be like in the NBA, but then also preparing them to potentially take that next step, get to the league, get those two-way contracts, maybe a full contract with an NBA team. Is that sort of still your goal going into year 3? Is that something that you're really prideful on and something you really like about coaching in the G League and just giving these players another opportunity to get to that level?
Yeah, it's tough, of course, being all the way in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is a great city. The owner of our organization has done a great job as far as fan support, community involvement. And I just try to, instill some, basketball fundamentals on the NBA level because it's a lot different than the college aspect. But, I just teach the fundamentals, keeping it simple and, knowing who you are as a player, knowing your role, and hopefully that can transfer over to maybe getting a call. But there's a lot of things that go on in the G League that are experimental, like the one free throw, the timeouts are shorter, so it's the overtime is a target score. So it's a lot of things to adjust to. So you try not to overtalk these guys, and hopefully they can figure it out on the fly. And I just have to manage the rotations and manage the staffing.
All right, great stuff. And Coach, before we let you go, obviously the first game is this Friday night at Andel Arena. The Gold are going to be taking on the Windy City Bulls. Coach, for people that are ready for basketball to start going on, or maybe they're looking for something fun to do on a Friday night, what would you tell them to make sure that they show up to Andel Arena ready to cheer on your team?
I mean, the more fan support, the more community involvement, the better. You know, it's a Friday night, so it's not too much going on in Grand Rapids, Michigan. You know, the players have worked hard. You know, the organization has done a great job as far as community involvement, reaching out to sponsors, ticket holders. We just excited for a new season. We're excited to get to work. The players have worked hard, so hopefully they can carry on, you know, against another team and not beating each other up during practice. So, you know, hopefully the fans can come out and support and we have a good long season.
Well, I know a lot of people are already chomping at the bit, getting ready for another season of Grand Rapids Gold basketball. Again, it does kick off this Friday night at